In this complete guide, you'll learn exactly how to show closed tasks in ClickUp so you can review your completed work, dig into your project history, and reopen anything that needs a second look. ClickUp is one of the most powerful project management tools available today, and knowing how to surface your finished tasks is essential for staying on top of your team's progress and producing accurate reports. If you find this helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more ClickUp tips every week, and let's get started. The very first thing you need to do is log in to your ClickUp account. Head over to ClickUp in your browser or open the desktop app, enter your credentials and sign in. Once you're in, make sure you're inside the correct workspace. If you belong to multiple workspaces, maybe one for a client, one for your own business, you'll find the workspace switcher in the upper left corner of the screen. Choosing the right workspace from the start saves you time and prevents that familiar frustration of searching for tasks that seem to have vanished, only to realize you were looking in entirely the wrong place. With your workspace loaded, your next move is to open the space, folder, or list that holds the tasks you want to review. ClickUp organizes work in a hierarchy. At the top you have spaces, which can contain folders, which in turn contain lists, and lists are where individual tasks actually live. Click on the relevant item in the left-hand sidebar to navigate there. Give the task list a moment to load fully before you proceed. If you're working in a large project with hundreds of tasks, the initial load can take a second or two, so be patient. It's worth noting that closed tasks are hidden by default in ClickUp. This is intentional because most of the time you want to focus on what still needs doing, not what's already finished. The steps we're about to walk through override that default. Now here is the key step, making your closed tasks visible. At the top of your task list, look for the button labeled Show. You'll usually find it in the toolbar above the task rows, sitting alongside options like Filter, Group, and Sort. Click Show, and a panel will expand, revealing a range of display options. Scroll through that panel until you see the toggle for Closed. Then switch it on. The list will refresh, and your completed tasks will appear alongside any open ones. This Show toggle is a non-destructive display setting. It only changes what you can see, not the actual status of any task. Think of it like turning on a light in a room that was already there. The tasks never disappeared, they were simply hidden from view. Once your closed tasks are visible, you might be looking at a mixed list of open, in progress, and closed items altogether, which can feel a little cluttered. If you want to focus exclusively on completed work, the optional filter step is your friend. Click the filter button in the same toolbar, select status from the list of available filter criteria, and then choose closed as the value. Apply the filter and ClickUp will strip everything else away, leaving you with a clean view of only the tasks that have crossed the finish line. Filters are especially powerful when combined with date ranges. If you only want to see what was completed last week or during a specific sprint, you can stack a created date or close date filter on top of the status filter to narrow things down even further. Now comes the part where all that historical data actually becomes useful. Reviewing your closed tasks. Browse through the list and click on any task that catches your eye. Inside the task detail pane, you have access to everything that was recorded during the life of that task. The description, all comments left by teammates, any files or attachments that were shared, and a full activity log showing every change of status, assignee, due date, or priority. This activity history is genuinely invaluable. It gives you a clear picture of how the work evolved, who contributed what, and when decisions were made. Project managers will find this particularly useful when preparing retrospectives or writing status reports for stakeholders. There is one more capability worth highlighting before we wrap up: reopening a closed task. If a client comes back with new feedback, a bug resurfaces, or a task simply wasn't as done as it appeared to be, you don't need to create a brand new task from scratch. Just open the closed task, click on its status badge, and change it back to an active status, whether that's open, in progress, or whatever your workflow uses. The entire history stays intact, which means the context is preserved and your team can pick up exactly where they left off. A couple of best practices to keep in mind going forward. First, make a habit of keeping your task statuses accurate in real time. ClickUp's reporting and workload views depend on status data to give you reliable insights, so a task sitting open when it's actually done quietly distorts every dashboard that reads from it. Second, remember that the show toggle for closed tasks is a per view setting. It won't follow you if you switch to a different list or view. You'll need to enable it wherever you want to see completed work. And that's everything you need to know to show closed tasks in ClickUp and make full use of the completed work stored in your account. You now know how to surface hidden tasks with the show toggle, narrow them down with status filters, review the full history inside each task, and reopen anything that needs more attention. These skills give you a much clearer view of how your projects are progressing and make your project data genuinely actionable. Save this video so you can come back to it whenever you need a refresher, and I'll see you in the next one.